44. Chad, we've made it 44 now.
It's fucking crazy, man. 44 episodes. I would have, wow. 3 years and 44 episodes. Yeah.
We average like 10 episodes a year. 10 or 12.
Just over one a month. Fuck it.
Yeah. This week on Center in the State, we are very delighted to have a guest of ours on the podcast. He's a friend of mine and actually a training partner of mine. He trains at the Rodney Goju Karate Dojo in Stockton, California. None other than Geoff Stovall. What is up, buddy?
How you guys doing, man? Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, dude, it is an honor for you to be on the show, man. And we kind of just wanted to get you on. We always are looking for new people to introduce to the audience that are, doing things with their life, got things like fights going on and, companies they're starting and, different entrepreneurial avenues that they're going in. So, I mean, thank you for being on the show. And you got some exciting news coming up. I know in the few weeks you're supposed to be fighting. Is that correct?
Actually, that would be this Saturday, man. That's 6 days from now, 22nd.
Coming up quick.
Shit.
Yeah.
What weight is this bout? You have a 185-pound title, correct?
No, so this is actually a 205-pound title, but my opponent is coming up from 185, so I'm meeting him at a catch weight of 195, and this is for the SF Extreme belt.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Have you ever fought for this organization before, Geoff?
Yeah, that was my last fight back in October. That was where we got the belt. That was their inaugural event, which this is going to be their second one, so the promoter, Steve Barnett, asked me to come back and kind of tackle that one for him.
Nice. So, and it is camo, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's all
gotcha.
still under camo.
Where is this event held at?
Napa?
Oh, it's in Napa? And then
That's
what is the... Do they do it at a civic auditorium there, or where is it?
I'm trying to remember the exact name of the event there. They're renting out a hall from it's kind of a large facility. They've got multiple different halls. I think it's like the Chardonnay Hall. They're renting that out. That's what they did last time.
I've actually, Chad, that was actually where I met Joe Rogan at. Honey was playing there. It's like a big,
okay.
They do concerts and different sort of events there, I believe.
Sweet.
Yep. It's a pretty nice venue. So let's talk a little bit about fighting first of all for camo. You've had quite a few camo fights now, and one of the biggest things about fighting amateur and fighting in those levels is the pay structure. And you really got to have a passion for it, and you learn real quick the guys that are passionate about it and want to continue doing it, and then you learn the guys that really, it goes both ways. So, how do you like fighting for camo? How do you like having the commission stepping in on the amateur bouts and some of the rules that they have in place?
Honestly, I like camo a lot. They're a great organization. They put a really good structure in place that a lot of the amateur organizations need to adhere to and to mold to, which gives it a little more form and a little more structure so that it looks out, honestly, in my opinion, it looks out for the fighters a little more because it gives them something that the promoters have to guide along.
Mm-hmm. What's your stance on, I know they have some certain rules with wearing shin guards and different sort of rules like that. What's your stance on that?
So with the shin guard things, they only do it for the first 3 fights, and you can get a waiver ahead of time if you need to. I like that when you get a lot of guys that are inexperienced, that are coming into the cage for the first time. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're getting into, and it's a completely different world. I mean, heck, It was a completely different world the first time I got rocked. So, it's kind of for their protection, and after that, they're good to go.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, too, Dave, for that, like they said, if both fighters agree, then they can sign waivers and not wear the shin guards.
Okay.
So that's
it's not mandatory at all.
Yeah, a lot of promoters didn't realize that. And if both fighters agree to, you can switch from 2-minute rounds to 3-minute rounds. You don't just have to have 5 fights first. So there's a few of the things that are deep in the rules. And like what Geoff's saying, it's nice for guys when they first come in to go, when you're finding out, like, you never fought before and you go in there for the first time, There's some guys that realize they don't belong in there ever, and it's nice if they get head kicked with a shin guard instead of a real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Geoff?
Yeah, that's exactly my point, man. It's man, the first time you get rocked, I mean, we've all been there. And then you realize, okay, this is totally different from what I was expecting, or maybe it's completely what I was expecting.
So what number fight in camo is this for you?
This will be number 13.
Lucky
13.
number 13. Oh
Yeah.
shit! All right, fucking
There you
13.
go. That's a lot
All
of
right.
fights.
And where are you at mentally, like moving forward? Are you gonna go the pro route, or I mean, I know you're fighting on Saturday. I don't
That
jump
really
ahead or anything.
No, it's a legit question. That really depends on my work. Obviously,
Mhm.
that comes first. So, if my work affords me the time to put in the training that I need to do to go pro, yeah, I'd like to. I definitely want to get at least one pro fight under my belt, but that's definitely the goal.
The training time too, is it based on, because like in this fight, are you doing 3-minute rounds, or are you going to do 5-2s, or how is this
For this fight, we're looking at 3-3-minute rounds.
Oh, okay.
That's the extent for camo. They don't do 5-minute rounds. So.
No, they don't do 5-minute rounds, but they'll do 5 rounds. But yeah, it's you got to put in a thing. When I was promoting for camo, I read from head to toe every sheet, and you got to put it in advance and get both fighters to sign off on it. And if they have a certain amount of fights each, then you can elect to do the 5 rounds. And
I wish I'd known that. The cardio's there, so I'd be fine.
Yeah.
With 5.
Yeah. So is that the pro thing for you too, though? That was 5-minute rounds, because it's a huge fucking difference. Like 5s to 3s is a big deal. It's
huge. But I mean, if you train for 5, then 3's easy. If you train for 10, 5's good. So that's kind of where I take it. Is I always want to train for more than what I'm getting into.
And by the way, for anybody who doesn't know out there, congratulations, Geoff, for this year, or actually not this year, but this past year, he received his black belt in Goju Karate. So I just want to say congratulations on that. That's a huge achievement. I mean, it's a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work that goes into achieving a black belt in any martial art. So congratulations, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
How many years had you been at it to get the black belt in Goju?
8.5, 9 years. We started with Sensei Rodney in 2011. Late 2011, and we got it in late 2019. So yeah, 8.5 years.
And you told me, Geoff, a while back when you and I were doing some boxing and stuff on the weekends, that when you first met Sensei Rodney, you really had no experience throwing punches or ever getting in a fight like that, really,
No, man, I joke. I tell a lot of people that when I first met him, I didn't know how to make a fist, really. And to be honest, that's pretty accurate. I mean, I knew the basic fundamentals of making a fist. You kind of close your fingers. But I had no real fighting experience whatsoever. High school wrestling, a little bit of introduction to Jujitsu in the Army, and that was about the extent of my experience.
What made you start to look into those avenues of wanting to fight, or what made you or gave you the desire to look into that?
Health, ironically, despite getting in there and getting my head beat in or beating somebody else's head in. Man, when I got out of the Army in 2006, I sat around, and I'm a giant nerd, so I played computer games, ate a lot, drank a lot, and got all the way up to 285 pounds. I think you've seen the picture. I was, quite frankly, a fat leap. And
you can cuss.
I was a fat fuck. I got tired of it. I really just wanted to be healthy, so I got into judo, and then I got into a little bit more, and I said, you know what? I just want to see if I, have a little bit, see what I can do, and got in and experienced it. Got introduced to Sensei Rodney from my judo instructor, Sensei Ricardo, and the rest is kind of history.
How did you get introduced into judo? Did you have a friend or somebody that brought you into a place or recommended a place?
No, I was actually looking for wrestling, but I couldn't find any adult wrestling that was going on, so I wanted to find something that was closest to it. So I did a lot of research, and there were judo schools in the area, and that was kind of what led me into it. It was the closest thing to wrestling, and that was my prior experience.
Yeah. So from going to judo and then getting introduced to Sensei Rodney, more of a stand-up style of fighting, what would you say was your biggest hurdle to overcome going from a ground fighter or a grappler to a striker? Because you feel pretty comfortable on your feet nowadays, correct?
Oh yeah, now absolutely. The biggest hurdle was definitely getting over the idea, because when I first got into it, I was like, man, I just got to learn how to avoid getting hit once or twice and get in there, and I'll get the guy to the ground. And then I did a sparring session with Sensei Rodney, and I was like, no, I need to learn a whole lot more than what I thought I needed to learn on stand up and how to attack and how to defend and how to set up those takedowns. So it was a complete eye opener of what stand up was, considering that I'd never had experience in it before.
Did you get in any fights growing up at all? Was there ever an issue there? Or?
I mean, I had 2 older brothers, so I got in fights with them, and I got in 3 fights throughout school, middle school, elementary, all that, but they were all over pretty quick, and yeah. But
so
no,
it wasn't a big deal there. Yeah.
No, not really.
And how long were you in the Army?
3 years, 03 to 06.
Right on. Thank you for your service. What was your position when you were in the Army? What'd you do? Because you mentioned experience in jiu-jitsu a little bit. Was that just basic, or how did that all work out?
So I got introduced to that in basic and infantry school, because I was parachute infantry out of the 82nd Airborne. And they actually sent me to their combative school when we were stateside for a while. Got to learn a little bit more, and was actually my platoon's instructor for a little while. But not to knock it, what they do in the Army is completely less than anything you're going to pick up at like a jiu-jitsu school or a judo school or something like that. It's a really good introduction in how to survive on the ground in case something happens, and then get back up to your feet and move on from there.
Yeah.
But
right on.
yeah, 82nd Airborne Infantry, did a lot with weapons, did a lot of door kicking, that type of stuff.
Right on, man. Right on.
Training for a fight, Geoff, how do you spend a majority of your training sessions? Are you doing a lot of sparring? Are you doing a lot of just technical movement? I mean, how are you spending your time normally?
So I do a lot of running. Day in, day out, I run all the time. And then when we're in there with Sensei Rodney, he's tailored it for weight training program before we even start sparring, before we start any technical stuff. So we're in there, we're hitting the weights. Then he'll break out and he'll work in progressions. At the start of this month, we're going to work this set of techniques. And then the next week, that set will lead into an expansion from that technique and an expansion from that technique. And whenever we spar afterwards, which is always like the last 20, 30 minutes of class, we always try to work on those progression techniques that he's showing us so that we can start to get the feel for how they work in the sparring, how they work in fighting.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So as far as your ground jiu-jitsu training, do you think that training in a gi works better for you for fighting style, or do you prefer to train without the gi?
For cage fighting, honestly, I mean, don't get me wrong, training in a gi is still fantastic for you. I still feel that it gives you tools that you don't necessarily have when you're in the cage. So I personally prefer training without a gi if I'm training specifically for an MMA
for
match.
A fight. Yeah.
But if we're looking for training in general, then I definitely want to train in that gi and experience that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. How much fight have you had in between fights?
How much time?
Mm-hmm.
So my last fight was October. So this would be about 5 months.
Okay.
Before that was about 2 years. So.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So you're coming in a lot fresher on this one.
Exactly.
And you did a damn good job the last fight.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Fucking A. And in a few days here, Saturday, man. Do you know where you're at on the card at all?
Yeah, second to last, co-main.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Right on, man. Well, I mean,
not really.
I was going to say, how do you feel about that? Like, for me...
Man, I want to get in, get it over with, and get out.
Yeah. Be the first fight. It's the easiest.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one or two.
I was the first fight, that last one, so it was pretty simple. Like, I was warming up, but they were delaying it, and it's like, okay, you're going to go... I don't got to worry if someone's going to go 3 rounds or get knocked out in 5 seconds.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
That first fight is a nice spot to be in.
Exactly. Then you're sitting there the whole time like, man, am I tired? Am I awake? Am I warmed up too soon? Am I warmed up too late? Like, yeah. Now, I definitely prefer to be earlier, get it over with, and get moving on.
Fucking A. Are you gonna take into the cage with you any specific tactics or breathing techniques that you might have learned from the nightmare Diego Sanchez this past weekend? You got any of that?
I'm not definitely taking any of his breathing techniques. It looked like he was kind of a peacocking around the cage, I think is what Joe or what Cormier said.
Well, he fucking he's been doing that more. I think originally in his career, like the Ultimate Fighter 1, he was just, obviously he's out there, and that scared people. And then I think now he tries to make it that, like,
he tries to recapture that or something.
As much as it may not work for me, obviously it's done well for him for his career. So
I get it. It is. Did you see the Facebook? It's a GIF right now of that girl just basically somersault kicking that chick and knocking her out.
Yes.
That's what Diego tried.
Yeah,
that was his opening move.
Yeah, that's a great move, man. That's I'm trying to remember what they call that, tornado kick or rolling thunder. Rolling thunder. There we go.
Rolling thunder. Yeah. And he come out right with it.
It's a rolling
thunder. He was close.
Yeah. Yeah, he almost had it. That was beautiful. Although a little crazy. But
I thought it was weird how he asked the referee, "Can I talk to my corner?" Like, I mean, when you're in the heat of the moment, I mean, do you really care what your corner says? What if you feel good and they say, "All right, hey, we're gonna call this. That's a bad cut."
I don't know where he was at mentally, and I'm not gonna say one way or the other. But man, I always care what my corner says. It doesn't matter. That from day one, Rodney's been in my corner. So that man, what he says to me or doesn't say to me speaks volumes, and it does matter to me, and it does resonate. So if he's got a long-time corner and a long-time coach, I'm sure that would resonate with him and matter to him.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, that's like a mature fighter decision. Like, they're like, should you go or not? I was like, fuck, dude, I don't fucking know. Let me ask my corner. What do you guys think? Should I fucking take the DQ or do I keep fighting it? I think that's a veteran move right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was impressive. I've never seen it done before. I thought it was using your brain at the right moment.
Yeah.
He definitely he was thinking about it, and we definitely know that. That's for sure.
So I sorry to cut you off, Chad. That was his only way to win that fight. He was getting his ass kicked.
What are you talking about? To rolling win. Thunder. He had 2 minutes to pull out the rolling thunder. All right.
That's it. Come on.
Oh man, poor Diego. And I'm not even 100% sure it was that knee that cut him. It could have been something else in that little scramble.
No, it looked like the knee though. When they kept showing it definitely, it looked like the knee. It was just funny because he goes, they had cleaned it up really good. And they go, do you want to continue? He goes, nah, man, there's all this, all this blood in my eye. I can't see. And he's going like that. And there was no blood on him at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some in his eyeball, but I thought that was funny. I was like, all right, bro, but fuck it. I think he did a smart move. I mean, that's a smart move. People are going to say, oh, fuck that. You just got to continue, and I get that aspect too. But the truth is, when we wake up in 10 years
go cash that
and
check,
Google
man.
And Google his record, it's gonna say W. You know what I mean? Like
that's true.
And then Conor McGregor says McGregor versus Diego Sanchez. That's fucked up. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't see that.
He tweeted Conor McGregor versus Diego Sanchez, and MMAfighting.com shared it and everything. I'm like, what are you doing? What the fuck?
But I hope not.
I really think that's what Conor's trying to do. He just wants to get some names. He wants to get some names under his belt. And I mean, it's like, fuck, if he says he's like, fuck it, I'll give a Legend of Money fight.
Yeah, whatever.
That fight's not going to happen. Conor's got way too many bigger names lined up for him, man.
But that's what, like, when Dana said that whole thing about Conor versus the cameraman is a big fight. It's fucking true. Conor's going to get paid bank no matter what. So why not fight those guys? If he can get a fight every 2 months, it's fucking tight.
I mean,
you could say it.
It's got a lot of money.
I mean,
but don't you feel like if he keeps losing to a cameraman or losing to a boxer or losing to anybody, it's just, it's going to lose its hype after a while.
On losing. Yeah.
What if that cameraman is a badass?
There's
what if
it's fucking MMA, man. Everybody stands a chance.
Yeah.
You got puncher's chance in there, right?
Right.
Yeah, but he does need to pick that. He's obviously a phenomenal businessman, incredible self-promoter, but Dave, you bring up a good point. If he does lose and continues to lose because he's picking the harder fights, then that will lower his stock a little bit. He's always going to be a great promoter. There's no question about that.
Yeah. Well, that's what you see the guys doing now that are able to, once they get a name like McGregor, they don't have to fight for the title. They don't have to fight the top 5. It's more about who's got a big name. Let's do a draw on this card, and then you're staying relevant, you're making money, but you're not fighting the worst of the division.
I think it's amazing that Conor McGregor cards sell out, and the numbers are always great regardless if he has a title or not. It shows you how little the title really actually means. In a sense, some guys, they needed to sell the pay-per-view. Kamaru Usman, Tyron Woodley probably wouldn't sell a pay-per-view, if there wasn't a title involved, maybe, but it's hard to really say that. It's not going to be the number one pay-per-view of the year. That's for sure.
Look how great Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson was and is, and just couldn't sell a card.
Yeah,
and he was fucking
great example. Very good point.
He just wasn't. He just wasn't that personality, So look what happened there. And I don't know. I'm just gonna fucking say it. Does Henry Cejudo annoy the fuck out of you guys too? Like, I like him. He's a badass fighter. But
man, he amuses me. I'm sorry. That's just amusing to me.
You like it? I guess I laugh.
It's not funny in and of itself. It's funny to look at, to watch.
Yeah.
It's just amusing because you're like, man, I get what he's doing. He's trying to bring up that promotion. He's trying to do it in a way that works for him. And hey, cool. And he's doing it. He kept that division alive, but it's just goofy.
When he does his angry face in the camera, I'm like,
you can't take him serious.
Keep a straight face, bro. Like,
exactly.
He's really. That's what gets me is when I watch it. I'm like, at first it's like, okay, you're doing a WWE wrestling type persona
gimmick,
but you're like dead serious.
Is he though? Really?
No.
Or is he selling it like the WWE?
He better be.
That's what I mean. He's like he's
I gotta tell you, I think it's a persona. I think he's just selling a persona. And he's selling a goofy persona, calling out all sorts of people in a goofy way because that's him and that's what works for him.
That's what he said, the cringe, he's doing that cringe. And I just, it's wild. I'm like, man.
Who's he supposed to fight next? Is he got a fight on the cards or anything like that, Chad? That
Valentina Shevchenko. I think I
Shevchenko, I got my money on her. She's tough.
I don't they're because they stripped him of the 125. So Joseph Benavidez is fighting Formaga, however you say his last name. Apologies for butchering that. But he's fighting him for the 125-pound title. And Henry Cejudo, he hasn't agreed to a fight yet. So he's like stalling out because he's saying he wants like a name like Aldo. He wants like a bigger name, but he still has that 135-pound belt.
He was trying to get Aldo. He was calling him out and he wanted to fight him. Who was it that Aldo just fought that he lost that decision to? Really controversial decision.
He just to the champ.
No, Marlon Moraes.
Moraes.
Yeah. So I think they were going to give Moraes the shot, but Cejudo was talking about wanting to get Aldo because he feels like he won that fight.
And then Dana goes, Henry's the man, so if he wants Aldo, he's getting Aldo. That was like a few months ago, and still haven't been nothing yet. So I don't know. Are you into, Geoff, do you just follow like your main sport you fight? But some guys don't even follow it still that much. Are you still into the UFC a ton, or where are you at sporting wise and what you pay attention
to? Man, I love to watch it, and I love to watch any of the fights I can, but it's just a matter of time and money. If I've got the time and the money to drop on a pay-per-view, great. Like yesterday, everything was on ESPN Plus, so I got to watch all that. Cool. But with the amount of time I've got right now, I'm like, I'm not going to chill at home and waste $60 on something when I don't have a whole bunch of that free time.
Oh yeah.
So,
do you watch football or baseball or any of the other sports?
No. Then this is going to be like the terrible aspect. I grew up a nerd. I'm still a nerd. Like the only sport I was into was wrestling in high school, and then I got into this. But I don't watch like any other sports.
Yeah, that's what happened when I started training with these guys, and fucking like I pretty much stopped watching a lot of sports. Like I just got obsessed with watching fights, and that turned into like my main thing. And now my wife Victoria, she's a huge fight fan.
Yeah,
so.
She knows more than you. I feel like half
Dude,
the time we should get her on here.
I know. I told her I'm gonna get her drunk and do like a fucking fight companion with her in here.
Oh
Put
yeah,
the
that'd be
TV
fun.
up and fucking just mic her up and have her headphones on.
Hey, but that's great that she's into it. I mean, that gives you something that she'll prove you spending money on it.
Oh fuck, dude, she's all in.
Yeah.
You know, Chad. She always meets the cool fighters too. She's taking pictures with Michael Chiesa, and she always.
We were in the casino when she took that photo, and then she's like, I was like, hey, what's up? Because he's in Spokane.
Yeah.
And I was like, babe, do you want to take a picture with him? She's like, yeah, but I want to ask him. I'm like, that's what they fucking do this for. Trust me. I'm like, go ask the guy if you can take a picture.
Yeah, they're totally down.
Yeah, and she's like, I was like, hey, bro, my wife would like to take a picture with you. Cool. He's all, fuck yeah, And I'm like, see, babe, like, trust me, like, most people don't start fighting because they don't want to get like fucking hot chicks around or something like that. One way or another, it kind of comes with the territory, and it's nice, no matter whether you're in a relationship happily or not.
Yeah,
there just so happens to be, a lot of vagina walking around.
Sure, they're saying just because you're on a diet doesn't mean you can't enjoy the dessert menu.
That's
still look at
it.
There you go.
Take a look. Smell it. What?
Oh man, I like that. Just because I'm on a diet. What do you guys think about the main event? What's his name? Knocking out Corey Anderson.
That was awesome. Good timing. That was really good on his part, man. That was beautiful timing. Beautiful.
I felt like Chad. I felt like an idiot after all you guys took him and I took Anderson. I was like, man, I'm a fucking idiot. There must be something I don't know.
Yeah, I went with Anderson. That was I was happy for him, but I was going with Corey.
Yeah, he's usually a gamer, right?
Well, he's a gamer. He's talented, and I mean, he normally doesn't talk like I just can't stand the guy for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. The way he talks shit annoys me. Like, I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, he just...
He's got to talk shit right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And, like, when he started saying stuff, I'm like... It was like all the John Jones, I ain't fucking fighting again unless I get a title. It's like, dude, I hate to tell you, but you're not that guy. You don't have any draw power. You haven't really... You beat Johnny Walker. That's cool, but he hadn't fought nobody yet. It was like, kind of like... He blew up, and then and then he has that gyno in his nipples that just drives me crazy. And I'm like, I don't know. Did you guys see it? Did you see it?
I wasn't checking out his nipples, man.
Bro,
no.
Stop looking at.
What'd you say he has in his nipples?
Gyno. It's so gyno's usually from like doing steroids or something. You get it's not just results from steroids, but it's mainly like an estrogen buildup in your glands right here. Well. Okay. So I see it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he got fucking gyno like a motherfucker. And I'm telling everybody, I go, watch, when the fight's over, I'm going to Google this, and I bet it's all over the internet. Well, it fucking pops up from fucking 2018, 2017, 2015 of all the forums. People like, Jesus, Corey Anderson's got like the worst gyno I've ever seen. And I was laughing because it was all over, but I was like 4 years behind. So
that's pretty funny. I've never heard of it. I thought it was an STD that you were just talking about. Gyno.
Yeah, well, that's your background there.
got a case of the gyno. Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's interesting.
Just like, what the fuck just happened?
No, I was just debating whether I wanted to call out the fact that, Chad, you were saying that was his world because he went there immediately, but you were just talking about all the side effects of having too much estrogen rolling through your system. Little first-hand experience there, man.
I don't know why everybody has to turn on me. Don't be like this.
I was going to be nice, but then you wanted to point it out, so I was like, all right, cool.
Dude, I fucking when I went through puberty and I had Like, I still have little bumps. Like, I went through that real hard puberty at like 13 or whatever, and my fucking nipples, bro, like would squeeze liquid out of them. And they said it was like I had big old fucking balls in my nipples, and if you squeezed them, like it wasn't melt.
You were one of those people that can milk themselves.
So that movie Meet the Parents really rung true to you, right?
Yes.
You got nipples, you can milk anything with nipples.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There was people. You went to Bear Creek too, right, Geoff?
Nah, I coached a year of high school wrestling at Bear Creek, but I went to Tokay.
Oh, okay. I thought you went to Bear Creek. Chad went to Bear Creek. There was a kid that used to go around there, and he'd milk himself at lunch and show everybody how to milk themselves.
Yeah,
it's probably Chad.
But Chad, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Yeah, see, he's a little younger than I am. So
yeah. How old are you, Geoff? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 38.
38.
Yeah.
So 38 fighting still. I mean,
man.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, this guy I'm fighting is 23, I think. So I'm like 15-year difference.
Yeah,
he's almost the age gap. Yeah, almost the age gap between us is how old he is. I was laughing about that to myself.
You got to just grab his wrist, grab his wrist and squeeze it, and then just whisper in his ear, "This is old man strength, motherfucker." You feel that?
I'll keep that in mind.
That's it. Okay. This is pre-corner advice, all right? Keep this way back in the mind. If you get in trouble, something happens, grab a wrist and just squeeze it, okay? That's
lock eyes with him, and don't worry about what he's doing with the other fist or anything like that. Just squeeze that one, right?
Just zone those out.
Gotcha. Just punching me in the head and just be like, this is old man strength. So.
As they say in Dare, turn a cold shoulder. That's it.
Keep that in mind, man. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, shit.
So, do you have any pre-fight rituals that you do, Geoff? Anything weird or out of the norm that you would say that you have to do before a fight?
That I personally have to do? No. My coach, he's got one, though. He never comes to my weigh-ins anymore. And then every time we're about to walk out, he just slaps the shit out of me. About 3 or 4 times. Slaps the holy living piss out of me.
That's his ritual, not yours, though.
Yeah, but apparently I have to go through it. So
you're like, Coach, I don't like
this. What goes on in your head? Like, do you feel anything? Like, does it get that adrenaline going for you? Like, what is it that you feel?
He does what he wants it to do, which is it's a wake up call.
Okay.
It doesn't piss me off because I know it's coming. I know he's going to do it. But it's a wake-up call to me, and it's that whole, you get your skin flushed, he hits you. And it's right before the fight, so you're like, oh, okay, it's game time, it's go time. Like, I feel this. And that's what he's doing, but with how heavy-handed he is, I rock sideways a good couple feet. Yeah.
Sensei Rodney slams you. Oh,
yeah, he does.
Man.
Where are you at? You said this Saturday you're going at 195. How are you doing on your weight right now?
1.5 pounds off, so I'm golden.
Oh, fuck. You're good to go.
Yeah, but I'm not planning to do any water weight cuts or anything like that. I always recently I've decided I kind of want to always walk in at what my natural weight is, and that's what I want to fight at. So,
how many hours before the event do you weigh in?
Dude, sadly, I mean, I'm not going to fight till probably 9:30, and we weigh in at 10 in the morning. So, good 11 hours ahead of time.
Yeah. Do you prefer that lengthy amount of time or no?
Well, I'd prefer a day ahead. I don't like having to get up that early in the morning when I'm going to fight, 12, 14 hours later. So frequently I bring my my poncho liner from the Army. I take a nap in the back room, crash for an hour or two.
Yeah. It's tough with the same day weigh-ins. I've always hated those. Do you foresee them doing any sort of hydration tests or anything like that in the future, like a way to allow them enough time? No,
I don't. They've been monitoring where they're asking you questions like, what was your weight when you started training for this? What was it 2 weeks ago? What was it a week ago? But I haven't seen anything come as a result of that yet. So whether they're going to do something with it or not, who knows?
Yeah, I think it's a CYA, so they could say they asked the question.
Yeah, and that's the impression I'm really getting is they're just covering their butt on that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's like. It's funny. Like a lot of people don't realize that after the last pay-per-view, the whole judging thing and the unified rules keep getting brought up, and with the commissions, like this commission is old rules, this commission's new rules, and I think a lot of people forget that the commission is just it's a delegating body that's sanctioned by the government. Like it's not the promoter. The promoter is not the commission. Like that's separate. It's completely separate, and a lot of people are missing that, and like it's funny, like everyone's going with strong arming, like the UFC is so big they need to just make it happen. It's like they just got New York a couple years ago, guys.
Yeah.
They were fighting to get in New York. They're not going to pull out of states because they don't, so it's pretty wild. What's your take on all that going on right now? What do you think about the open scoring and
Man, I really don't like the 10-9 scoring system. I honestly think it should be a point accumulation system. As you're controlling the round, as you're getting strikes, as you're controlling the grappling, the aggression, whatever the case may be, that you accrue points, and everyone starts at 0 going up. The 10-9 scoring system, I feel like, has a little bit too many avenues for error and avenues for judgment calls that can ruin fights.
Obviously, right? It's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the point accumulation system, and mind you, I'm no expert on this, so how they'd come up for this for MMA is beyond me at this point. But the point accumulation would give you a much more accurate and fair judge and gauge of the fight as it goes on.
Yeah, it's like that's what I always thought, like if it was like, okay, you have striking is a point that somebody wins, wrestling is a point that somebody wins, aggression is a point that somebody wins, grappling is a point that somebody. Then when it gets, as soon as they go to the ground, it's pretty, that's where it's definitely educational issues with judges. Because like punching, it's like, oh, he fucking hit that dude way more. Oh, he was way more aggressive. Oh, he was able to defend takedowns more. He was trying more or something. And then you go to the ground and it turns into a jiu-jitsu match. And then it's like, okay, to simplify it, is it top control versus bottom or, submission attempts? That's wild. And then so that it goes the round is like, okay, if it was 3 points to 6, you wouldn't add them up for 1, 2, and 3. It would just be, okay, he got 6 out of 3, so he won that round. And maybe a certain point spread could be a 10-8, or something. But yeah. And then what do you think about open? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just going to say, do you think a part of it could be, it's so difficult to agree upon a scoring system that everybody wants, and it's such a big battle to get it accepted with all these commissions. I mean, is it they don't want to open up a can of worms like that? Because, we've thrown out a couple different suggestions, and, there's no real right or wrong answer on the scoring system.
I'm sure that's an element of it. You got
I feel like it's a battle they don't want to get into right now. You know what I mean? With that system.
I understand what you're saying, but I think it's a case of too many cooks in the kitchen kind of deal. You got all these different organizations that want to run it their way, all these different commissions that want to run it their way, and you got a whole bunch of people picking and choosing.
It sucks because first somebody has to start it. And in order to start it, the only way that any one of us can be right or wrong, or anybody in the world can be right or wrong, is if somebody tries it.
Exactly.
And you have to learn through failures, and a commission that has enough of a presence needs to experiment, and then, they'll experiment and see what works. And then maybe neighboring commissions or states start to do it, and it spreads. And then I think at that point, if they're showing a positive result, maybe the UFC, because you still people forget about all the other little small pro organizations that like when people are talking about USADA and drug testing and stuff, it's like, man, the UFC is paying a shitload of money for that. Your average
billions, right?
is not going to pay that much money for testing. So you can't just say, oh, that's the whole sport. But anyway, back to the judging, is saying that if states are able to go trial and error Well, because that was a big breakthrough in the sport, and everybody thinks that everyone's on USADA now. It's like, nah, dudes in Bellator aren't in USADA. Dudes in ONE FC ain't in USADA. Dude, Glory Kick, all these other sports, they don't have that testing. It's not a regular thing for the sport. It's regular for the UFC. And, and like with the judging, it's like all these commissions are going to have to step up. It's going to get tried. Like they need to get with local promoters and try them and see how it works. And if it starts working, then obviously the word's going to go well. And then maybe once we see a successful storyline, the UFC can say that, which is like, it's getting to the point with the unified rules is to say, look, we're only going to bring the UFC to your commission if you abide by the new unified rules, or we're not going to have a fight here. But I don't think they're going to do that because it's a business.
It's going to take a lot for something like that to happen. I totally agree with you. But like you said, if somebody ever jumps out and kind of tries it, that is going to be the first stepping stone to getting it done.
Someone's got to fucking try and then see how it goes. It's like the open scoring thing sounds fun too. Like I would think that's the easiest first step is like, hey guys, let's try open scoring. Let's announce the scores after round one. Like they don't even have to tell the crowd, the audience, the corners or nothing. It can be all streaming services like the UFC in general. If we are judging a UFC fight or televised event, we'll release the score. And then fans are going to Google, everyone's going to boo, clap, whatever. But just to show that at the end of the round, the scores are immediately turned in. And yeah, I think you get champions that they go, hey, all three judges have you ahead 3 rounds. You can skate the next 2. But at the same time that a champion's trying to start running, I think you're going to see a challenger fucking start chasing hardcore. So I would like to see if that works, because who fucking knows?
Yes.
I don't know if it makes it boring or exciting, but seeing something happen to change it, it's, this conversation's been going on for so long and nothing has chinked the chain or in any way. They haven't done shit. It's just same old boxing scoring and yeah, same problem. So.
Geoff, do you follow boxing at all?
Not really.
Okay.
No, man, when I said I don't really watch a lot of other sports, I don't. The next closest is watching karate tournaments and all that because of Sensei Rodney.
Yeah. Do you still compete in karate?
Yeah, I do. After my fight in late October, we flew out to Connecticut and we did a large 2-day tournament out there. And then we did a in-house one in this past January, and then we're going to probably do the national qualifiers in March.
Sweet. Yeah, it's up here. Stephen Smith, he's up here, and he's been doing those kumites and going down there with you guys and everything.
He's one of the guys that comes out all the time, and he actually came out in January and helped us with that tournament out there. He's a great guy.
The Quest of Champions, right?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, he's an awesome dude.
Yeah, he's a super, super cool guy. He just did I seen his he just rematched the one guy, and did you watch that fight?
I was there for it. Yes.
Oh, you were there for it. Was that in Connecticut or where was that?
That was in Connecticut back in November. That was their 3rd match, and that got a little more contact than they were supposed to have.
Yeah, that's right.
What's like the rules on something like that? Like how hard can you throw, and how much do they let it go?
Really depends on what type you're doing, because they've got stuff that ranges all the way from light to little to no contact, all the way up to full on. Man, you guys are going at it. So we did a couple matches up there, and just because of insurance and all that, we had to wear headgear and shin guards and gloves and all that. But man, I got to tell you, we were trying to knock each other out. Like there was, you were throwing, you were going.
Do you notice a different kind of urgency going against a guy like that, or a guy, in the cage? Like, do you notice a difference in how they fight you?
Yes. It's more subject to the rule sets and what creates that sense of urgency, but it's also the individual. So if they're coming in there with just a karate background, just a karate experience, which they're used to those karate tournaments, they're going to come in with that in mindset. But if they're coming in there with the fighting mindset, they're still going to be coming in there and throwing and going. And that's purely a mindset. It's not karate versus MMA or anything like that. It's really where they're at on a mindset. So some guys come out there and they go out to throw regardless of their background.
Well, that's what I see, like in the, for example, his match that was out there. It's interesting because you'll see like the beginning stages in the karate matches, whatever discipline or whatever, they're a lot more strict, a lot more discipline. And then the moment that somebody gets clipped or gets angry, there's no
it
changes
escalates.
the fight.
Yes.
There's no more of the precision. It's like, okay, now we're just swinging.
See, and that's kind of what I was saying with the mindset and who you're looking at and their background and their training. Because, man, I got to tell you, when I spar with Sensei Rodney, for example, I don't care where that man's mindset is. He's always precise. He's always technical. He's always skillful, whether he's going out there to lightly spar with you and to work on your technique, or he's going out there to knock your legs off. The man's always technical. So it really depends on that mindset, where they're at.
Do you have any, as far as mindset goes, like you said he slaps you, so that kind of gets you in the mindset before a fight. Do you find yourself in a good place in there, or are you always kind of like going, I'm a fucking head case, so it fucking sucks for me, so I'm just asking you, like, how
I'm not going to lie, there's not a single fight that I've gotten into that I'm not nervous. In the back, I'm nervous. In the right before the fight starts, I'm nervous. As soon as it starts, cool, we're good. I kind of liken it to when I was in the Army and we were jumping out of planes. Everybody's like, man, don't you get nervous jumping out of planes? I'm like, man, I was only nervous at one part, and that was as soon as you were walking to the door. And it's the same thing with the fighting. As soon as I'm walking out there and we're standing there looking across each other before round one starts, I'm like, man, it's kind of nerve-wracking. But as soon as it starts and as soon as you go out there, I'm like, all right, cool, we're good.
There's peace in the chaos.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
apprehension's a bitch.
Yeah, very much, very much.
Fucking A.
What do you feel like's next for you, Geoff? Like, not looking ahead too far, but what do you feel like? Do you want to continue to teach karate, or do you want to continue to coach MMA? Like, where do you want to kind of go with all of your training, all of your knowledge that you learned?
I want to use it in any way I can to help Sensei Rodney's school grow, whether it's through karate or through MMA. That's really what I'd like to do, is help his school grow. That man's given me so much, and I want to give back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
A few more questions. What's it like having an instructor? Like we had John Hackelman on the podcast a few weeks ago, and he was talking to us about his relationship with his fighters and how close knit it is, and can you even imagine with fighting having a different instructor, having somebody else besides Sensei Rodney with you, with a different kind of attitude, different kind of training approach? Like,
well, I mean, I've got my other coaches, Steve Hernandez, Logan Paxton. He comes in and corners me, or he came in and cornered my last one. But in terms of my head coach and my technical instructor, I can't imagine having somebody other than Sensei Rodney. Steve Hernandez,
like, are you guys hanging out quite often?
Oh yeah. Outside of the gym, we still get together, we still hang out, we have social gatherings, all that type of stuff. But yeah.
Gotcha.
What is Steve Hernandez coaching you? What does he handle for you?
Again, more technical stuff. He just brings a different stylistic approach to it from what Sensei Rodney brings. He's got much more of a Muay Thai background versus a karate background, so he brings that aspect. He also brings the ground game, because that's not Sensei Rodney's wheelhouse. So, Hernandez, he'll come in and he'll work with me on that, and he'll help sharpen that up and point out areas that I can improve on that. And that's the other thing he does, is he helped me with my diet and mindset coming into it, because he was, a professional fighter, and he had that prior experience with the MMA. So he helps with that diet and mindset.
How strict is your diet going into a fight?
Incredibly. And the only luxury food I have is granola bars and peanut butter. Other than that,
do you have a keto or anything that you do?
No, I did that for a while, and now it's all lean, clean eating. I meal prep Sunday, Monday, all whole grain stuff for carbs, steamed vegetables, and then granola, peanut butter, stuff like that, and pretty much just water. But it's all just lean, clean eating.
Mm-hmm. A lot of chickens, fish, things like that.
5 pounds of chicken a week. That's part of my meal prep. I don't really do any fish right now just because money, quite frankly. But I like fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any sponsors
go.
coming into this fight helping you out?
Nope. All me.
What? You gotta get some sponsors, man. We might be able to get you a bottle of hot sauce, bro.
There you go.
You know,
prepping with that. See how that goes.
Yeah. Fuck his stuff too, bro. You're gonna drink if you got any problem hitting your water intake, just fucking eat some of that hot sauce. It fucking kills me, dude.
You see this complexion here? I don't handle spicy food well, and I know it. So hot sauce on my food does not go well, man. That would be bad.
The older I get, the more of a bitch I am. My wife, you know, she fucking.
I am too.
And then I'm like, I just fucking reach over, grab it, and throw a few drops in there. No big deal. Mix it up, start eating it, and then I'm like, fuck. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me, man? And then I'm just shitting straight fucking fire, man. Like, I'm not built for it either. You know, I want to be. Yeah. I'd like to be. You know, it'd be cool to be like,
yeah, spicy food tastes great, but man, my body just doesn't handle it well, and I know that, so I'm staying away from it.
Like lava in my gut, just burning holes and fire up my ass, man. I'm just not built for it. Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh man. So Geoff, how do we get tickets for your fight? Where's it at? Give us the venue, all that good stuff
Napa,
again.
You'll see me at the dojo. You can come grab me Wednesday. You know, I'm there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. They're $50 a pop. Come on out and we'll have a blast.
Yeah. That's on this Saturday, guys. So this Saturday, if you don't have anything going on, if you feel like taking your old lady to Napa, it's a good place. Women love Napa. You can drag your old lady down to the fights. You know, have some wonderful red wine, wonderful white wine, and do it too. Watch some people get beat up.
And on the way back, man, what's that little wine town? Is it Calistoga? You guys know about that?
You're talking Greek to me.
Say that again, Chad.
I think it's Calistoga, little wine town on the way back roads from Napa to Stockton. Oh, dude, it's a fucking badass little town. They always got little concerts going on and shit. I used to do side jobs, take the back roads, drink 6-pack. I'd be driving through there. Everybody walking down the street partying and shit. I just stopped and started drinking in bars.
I don't think you're supposed to admit that, man.
What? Allegedly.
Allegedly. There you go. That's what you're supposed to put in front there.
Yeah, allegedly, you know. And I think it's over 10 years ago or more. Man. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But yeah. There is it's a really cool town. There's and then there's a petrified forest right by there. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like Napa. It's a good town, man. Fun town. Good green fields out there and well built feminine species. Yeah.
Oh man, Chad, we got a poor connection on your end. I'm losing you quite a bit on this.
Fuck. I gotta get a booster out here.
Chad?
I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me. I can see you guys.
I got him loud and clear. I think that's on you, Dave.
Okay, sorry, we're having a little technical difficulty here.
Blaming it on me, man.
Okay, I think we're back.
Just because I live in Idaho doesn't mean I don't have service.
Hello?
Get one for each shoulder. Double champ.
Nah. The first one went to Sensei Rodney. The second one went to Hernandez. The third one's coming home with me.
Oh, the third? Okay. See, it's third strap.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Fucking A, brother. It's going to look good. You got it now. You're going to be triple C. You can fucking start calling.
Oh, no.
Triple C.
I'm not going to that level.
Bro, that's what you are. That's it.
Hey, if we want to talk a little trash before I got to cut out here, what I will be able to say is I've defended my belt more than McGregor ever has.
Oh, that's true as fuck. I always said, I'm like, a motherfucker didn't ever defend a belt.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what's up. Well, thank you, Geoff, for coming on the show, man. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're gonna hop off here. But thank you very much for being a part of this, man. And for anybody out there, go follow Geoff. He's actively fighting through Camo. He's going to be fighting some more, I'm sure. You'll see him post. What's your Instagram and Facebook handles out there?
Just Geoff Stovall. Nice and easy.
Yeah. Nice and simple. All right, guys. Right. Well,
yeah.
Thank you, Geoff, again for being on the show, man. We do appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
all right, brother.
I'm glad you showed me how to do that. Like,
I learned it on the spot. Like, I didn't know how to do it until I started fucking with shit. I was like, oh, that works.
Sometimes that's what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. Did you see the fucking interviews afterwards with Chiesa and Bisping going back and forth?
I didn't hear it. I wanted to. I seen something about it.
Bisping was being a dick. I was watching it. I'm laughing. I'm like, Victoria didn't see it. I'm like, you fucking watching this, dude? Like, so Chiesa said something about, a highlight where the native dude from the Contender Series was fighting that other Mexican cat.
Yeah, okay.
The one that ended in an illegal knee.
Yeah.
And, he had the submission. Chiesa said something about, that was a highlight if he had got it. And Bisping just was fucking going off. No, fucking Chiesa, yeah, because he had the submission. That was a highlight and stuff. And Chiesa was being, pretty professional, but still going back at Bisping. And Bisping kept just being a fucking, like, douche, bro. It was hella funny. Like, he's just like, oh, yeah. He goes, I don't know why they're showing the highlight of the illegal knee at the end. Show that failed submission because that's what the fight's all about, right, Chiesa? I watched your last fight. I fell asleep during it. So, yeah, let's listen to what you have to say. And then
that's
Chiesa's
crazy.
Like, hey, it's about getting the W, not the, this and that. And they were going, dude, it was, I mean.
Was Bisping just at the fight drinking, though, right?
No, it was the post-fight, like, commentary booth with, what's her name? I can't even think of her guy.
The dark-haired girl, right?
Yeah.
I know who she is.
She was up there, and she kept trying to, like, break it up, and she'd get Chiesa, and Chiesa was like, I thought he was going to get pissed, dude. Like, Chiesa was super professional, because Bisping was, like, antagonistically an asshole. Like,
UFC needs to be careful with doing those fucking interviews like that. In a fighting sport, dude, that's how fucking people get fucked up right there.
Well, like, dude, it could have easily been a fight. They could have easily fought over. Dude, if Chiesa would have been in a bad mood, there's no reason why he couldn't have lost the school. He was super professional about the whole thing because, like, Bisping was just being all in Bisping, like, arrogant, fucking smart ass. Like, it was good, dude. It was entertaining.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's fucking crazy because Kamaru Usman was doing commentary on one of those one night when Colby won.
Yeah.
And they almost got into
there.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think Nate Diaz went in there and started talking shit to everybody. I don't know if it got physical or anything, but they need to quit that shit because it's going to cause a fight.
Like, they're there both to commentate and, like I said, it was just I guess I missed what started it, but I think Chiesa cut Bisping off. I don't know how it happened. It was just like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like,
just some tension.
Oh yeah, and then you just seen it build, and you think it's over because what's her name is like talking to she goes, the girl De La Rosa was talking about when she dropped her. She's like, that's the first time I ever dropped anybody, and it was so exciting, like, just to feel that. And I thought, wow, there's so much more to work on. I'm going to be throwing that right hand a lot more because I didn't know I could do that, And then she goes, yeah, Michael, is there any moment in your career, all your fights from the beginning to the end, do you remember, like, by chance, the first time that you dropped somebody? And he goes, yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, I do. He goes, and I lost the fight. He goes, I dropped Masvidal, and then he come back and beat me in a decision. And then she goes to Bisping. Bisping's like, I don't know. I've done it so many times. I lose track. There's no way I can even sit here and narrow it down to one time, and like fucking just going off.
Hella cocky about it.
Like he wouldn't let it go. And then he went straight into just being a dick to Chiesa, bro. Like, I'm like, damn, dude. Like, cause I thought, okay, she did good. They're going to move past it and be professional. Bisping, nope.
Is there any sort of prior beef to that, or is that all fresh? Wow.
What it reminded me of is like Bisping pre Dan Henderson knockout.
Okay.
Like, I
Cocky
mean,
fucking...
that's what would have been hella funny. Is like, I remember when Dan Henderson dropped you, you know, like, you know.
Yeah,
But, you know,
he almost killed him in the second one too. Didn't they fight again at the end?
Fuck. Like, that fight could have went to Henderson pretty easy. I mean,
yeah.
Dan Henderson, well, like Dan Henderson said, I wish they judge a fight by how you look, not who, you know.
Yeah.
But that was a badass fight. Bisping's a tough motherfucker, but I mean, it was just, dude, he just wouldn't let up. Like, I wish I could have heard like what started it all, but Bisping, I mean, regardless of what started it in that professional situation, Bisping was being fucking ridiculous. But it was entertaining.
Yeah, whatever. So, that's what it's all about. That's
nervous.
what everyone forgets. It's all about entertaining.
They're both going off, and she's not even looking at them two. She's like looking at Staff or something. She's like, yeah. Like, and they're just going. Like, you could tell she thought they're gonna fucking fight.
Hey, did you, by any chance, listen to that podcast with Rashad Evans on Joe Rogan?
No, but John's been telling me about it.
It's really, really good.
Like, say he's deep in the fucking
ayahuasca. Yeah, DMT, ayahuasca,
and shrooms, and licking smoking toads, and fucking.
That fool is into that shit, dude. Like, he crazy. Deep. I mean, I never liked Rashad until that interview. Kid you not, I've never liked Rashad whatsoever. Hearing that, I was like, holy shit, this guy's actually pretty tight. Interesting human being.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I liked him originally, then I didn't like him for a little bit, then I liked him again. And, you know, I like him though.
He broke my heart when he fucking beat Chuck Liddell's ass. Broke my fucking heart, dude. I was such a big Chuck Liddell fan at the time.
Bro, I was fucked up. I was like, however young I was super fucked up here in Idaho. I just went on a booze cruise with all the first time I ever went on a booze cruise. I wasn't even drinking age yet. And we were all fucked up. Maybe I was 21. I might have just been 21. But anyway, I was super fucked up. We went to this house. We're watching the fights. I don't know any of these people. I know one person up here in Idaho at this time. And they're like watching. They're like, oh, Chuck better watch out. Fucking Rashad's going to fucking drop. And literally, dude, I'm like, oh, yeah, because Chuck don't got a fucking chick. Boom, slapped him right in the middle of my sentence.
You fucking jinxed Chuck Liddell.
Yeah. And I was being a
fucking
smart
asshole.
I was like, I was fucked up, and I was totally like telling this guy, like, you're a fucking idiot, bro. Like,
Chuck's got the best chin in the game.
Night.
Yeah.
But see, that was after fucking Quentin shut his lights out.
Too many
Quentin
people.
Quentin's the one that we watched that at Jerry's house, Jerry Curley's house.
We probably did. Do you remember when Keith Jardine fought Chuck Liddell and put a hell of a fight on him? I think he beat Chuck, and then everyone started knocking him out.
It was when everything changed for Chuck was Quentin Jackson.
Yeah.
Chuck, I mean, it was bad.
Ooh. I hated seeing that, man. He was my favorite fighter. If you had to pick if you had to pick a UFC fighter of all time from current roster to fucking original debut in 93 or whatever it was, who would your one favorite fighter be during that span?
It probably would be Chuck Liddell. Because in hindsight, I look at different guys and go, man, I really did like him, but no one when Chuck was a champ or fighting during his prime, I was so fucking excited to see Chuck fight. It was always fuck yeah, Chuck's fighting, I mean, that's hard. That was my main, to say anybody else, any other fighter that's done that to me for every time is fuck, dude, because a lot of other guys, I don't feel like Chuck ever really got in a boring fight.
No, I couldn't
even
think
when
of
he
one.
started to lose, he was still in every fight that he got knocked out in too.
Yeah,
it wasn't like it was boring and he got clipped or anything. He was always mixing it up, bringing a fight, and that's what.
I'd say other than the most recent one, I'd say that
was.
I hated that whole thing. I'm torn. I was always a huge Nick Diaz fan too. He was one of the first fighters I knew about in the UFC. Like back when I started training in high school and getting into it real deep, like I didn't know any of the new guys. You know, I knew the old guys like Ken Shamrock, Hoist, you know, but I didn't know any of the new guys. So I was like, fuck it. And then I heard Nick Diaz was from Stockton. I was like, fuck. And then I watched him knock out Robbie Lawler on ESPN2 or whatever. They just kept replaying that fight and another UFC fight just to get the Ultimate Fighter show popping.
Spike.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe it wasn't ESPN, but it was around the sports channels on the TV.
Yeah.
But fuck, I watched that fight and I was just like, how can you not like this kid, Nick Diaz? Like, he's a fucking badass. And then I kind of seen a few more of his fights and how he'd get fucked on decisions, like every one. And I was like,
it was crazy. Like, it was like 3 in a row or something. It was did he fight Carl
Sean Shirk?
Yeah.
Sean Shirk, Carl Parisian,
and
Diego Sanchez.
That was a crazy
That was
fight.
one of the best fights of all time, dude. If you remember back to that. Like,
well, it was like
the
scrambles were insane in that.
Whew.
And it was like, that shit was crazy. Because I remember, like, we had the illegal cable boxes, so we watched the first where.
If you had a soundtrack to your life, it'd be Breaking the Law,
Breaking the Law. I know, every time I fucking say something, oh god. I'm
pretty sure Geoff thinks you've been shooting up cycles of steroids for your fucking years now.
That's what he got out of that, huh? Thanks, Geoff.
He's like, one thing, I don't got to worry about Chad fucking drug testing me. Go fight for Hooked on Endorphins.
There you go.
Oh man, what do you think the best fight was out of that last card? That was a pretty good card. I was impressed with it.
What was the God, it was a good fucking fight.
Ray Borg put on a good performance too.
It started off super boring, and then but what was the fuck, man? I can't even. I'm going crazy right now. I don't know. It was like the second or third fight or something. They were fucking swinging. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, a fight I'm excited for coming up is that Dan Hooker and Paul Felder.
Yeah,
that looks like
that's this weekend, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
Dude, I'm pretty sure it's this weekend.
Did you see that they almost fucking added Darren Till and Cannon to the card we're going to?
Yes.
Oh, and he tore his fuck, dude. I showed Victoria when Till posted it. I was like, babe. Oh, she's like,
is it not going down?
No.
So
Till accepted it, but by the time it got back, Cannonier had just torn his pec muscle 2 days prior.
Oh.
So Cannonier tweeted, like, basically saying, yeah, you motherfucker, if you had signed it when you got it, I'd have been training to kick your ass instead of over here doing this stupid shit where I tore my pectoral. So I'm not blaming you, but I kind of am. I don't know.
That's stupid. What the fuck is he doing trying to get a fight, and he's out there doing things to tear his pec muscle?
Well, he said he hadn't had the fight. So it wasn't really Cannonier's fault. They were waiting on Till to sign it, and Till hadn't signed. So Cannonier was doing something else. Like, his point would have been, like, if you would have signed, I'd have been in training camp. But we were still waiting for But kind of as close as this match is, it's like, I don't know.
That would have been a good fight, man.
Dude, that would have been sick as fuck. That would have been so sick, bro.
I am worried about that fucking Chinese girl that's fighting Joanna on that card. Fucking, if she comes into fucking Vegas with that Corona shit, we all are there that same weekend, I'm gonna be very pissed off at her.
Oh my god!
She's the only Chinese person I know that's gonna be at the fight.
They must drive her across the border, because I heard you can't get in or out of China right now.
Yeah,
like all the ports
she must be
are
already here or something. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Maybe she does a training camp at a different place, like. Flies out to the States.
I was talking to Isaac, and he said all the ports in and out of China are shut down. Like, nothing's going in or out right now because of that virus.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking keep it away from us. That's all I care about.
Fucking nuts.
Dude, hey, I watched a video, and I kid you not, Chad. I wish I never would have watched it, but I watched a video of that Wuhan fucking market. Some tourist went through there and filmed it on their camera phone, dude. And it was the most sickening thing I've ever seen, bro. Like, we're talking the market that the press says that the virus came from, or they originally thought, or I mean, they changed their story a few times on it. But dude, they were selling fucking pythons, selling bats to eat. All this stuff is to eat. Rats on a stick, fucking dogs, cats, and dude, this video, there are fucking like golden retrievers standing outside a fucking cage, like fucking just waiting to get, and they steal the dogs from the neighborhood.
Yeah, bro, it's where real hunger is. That's what they say. Like,
yeah,
it was a huge thing in like the depressions, bro, in every country about pets getting stolen and ate. It tells you how hungry motherfuckers get, dude.
Dude, that's a whole nother kind of hunger,
Jack somebody's pet and eat it. Like, that's the whole thing. Is like, if I'm starving, dude, and I got a dog with me, I'm not going to eat my dog, dude, because then I'm going to eat my dog, and then in 12 hours, I'm going to be hungry.
You're going to get hungry again.
And I'll be like, damn, now I ain't got nobody.
Now I'm lonely.
Yeah, like, I just murked my buddy. Like, it's fucked up. Like, I'm not going to kill no one's pet either. Like, that's my buddy, bro. Like, we're going to be hungry together. I'm not going to fucking eat you and then soak in guilt. Like, that's fucked up. Like, and I like eating animals, but
if
I ain't
you
eating
did,
my dog, man.
let's just throw it out there. If you did have to eat Ranger, what do you think what part would you go for first?
Oh,
do you go straight to the dick, the balls?
You go straight on the back straps.
Yeah.
It's the most tender point of the animal. You got two tenderloins right on the inside above the dick and the balls. This is probably tiny.
At least you know how to.
He's the size of a small deer. Oh, I know exactly how to carve him up. I know exactly what to eat first. I know exactly what to grind in the burger. Like, I know what to do. But he's an active dog, so he's probably gonna taste like shit. He's gonna be all lean and tough and gamey.
Yeah.
His nutsack, never busting no nuts and fucking having no babies.
Your dog's still a virgin, huh?
Dude, he couldn't get the job done.
Yeah.
Brought over a fucking white German Shepherd in heat, and every time, I wasn't here for it, but Victoria told me, every time he got like mounted her and started to get in her, she'd yelp and he'd jump off, bro. Yeah, that's how good of a dog he is. He's like, oh, I heard her.
Oh, sorry. So no means no.
Yeah.
He's a millennial dog.
Some Great Dane walked by and he was just all, just licking his dick. A fucking faggot dog, bro.
Oh, I called the dog today. Instead of calling the dog gay or queer or anything like that, I called the dog a butt fuck. I go, get out of here, butt fuck. And Amanda's like, what did you just call the dog? I go, I ran out of slurs, so I just made up my own.
Dude, me and John were joking the other day driving. I was like, what's gonna happen? I always make jokes about how I'm gonna be when I'm 90. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fucking.
It's fun. It's fun to think about.
Dude. Well, like, I'm definitely gonna fucking like directions. I'm gonna give way too much information like old people do now, but I'm gonna go to the next step. I'm gonna be like, you're driving down the road. You're gonna see a house on the left. It's blue trim. The siding, they got it from Lowe's. They ridiculous. They should have shopped local. It's got white trim. They got two little canaries that live out front and everything. Anyway, when you see that, just keep going. Don't even worry about it. And then, just, I am going to give like the most vivid directions of like so much unnecessary information. But I was making jokes that like, coming out like when my movie comes out, like it's all just scenes that fucking happen, like in, scenes.
Yeah.
Tons of just crazy shit that happened in the moment. And he's like, you're not gonna be able to do it. I said, no, John, you gotta understand, bro. Like, when I do it in like 20 years, it's gonna be revolutionary because people are gonna be like, I can't believe somebody would come out and think like this. It's so revolutionary. People have been suppressed for so long and they're gonna embrace me, bro. And then it's gonna like the fucking movie's gonna be like, you know what? Fuck you little faggot. And, like, oh. And then the fucking gay community, bro, is gonna come out and they're gonna fucking be like, that's right. We are not homosexuals. We are faggots. And they're gonna like want to
take back the word.
They're gonna want it back.
Yeah.
They're gonna want to be called fags again.
Yeah.
Dude. And like all the people are like, I am a transsexual. I'm not a zer. This is a made up word. This is actually what we are. And like it's like they're gonna all those people are gonna like call me brave for standing up.
Yeah, he was
saying,
revolutionary
and bringing back the way it was, because society got so distracted and made up all these fake words for people's feelings.
Yeah,
we need to just know what we are at our core.
They're gonna take back the word.
That's my vision, bro. I'm gonna be embraced.
In all reality, you're probably gonna get abused on social media.
Yeah, if I don't get fucked over from hate crime or something beforehand for calling a fucking stick a stick.
Oh, that is too good. This episode, by the way, is sponsored.
Boom.
It's whoa.
Did you outside your pants, bro? Did you outside your pants?
It's sponsored by whatever wine we're going to be drinking at the wedding, because we just got like cases and cases and cases of wine in the garage. And I figured before we serve this to everyone, I'm going to test it out, make sure it's good stuff. I'm going to make sure it works for the getting drunk purposes. And to whatever person made this wine out in California. Out in California in 2017. Thank you.
I'm Chad Denver, everybody. I'd like to be sponsored by Kirkland. It's Cabernet Sauvignon. It comes in a box, 4 liters. It's a very special box, $13.99. Right next to it, you can get 3 liters for only $10.99. But I say go with the box, but keep it cold, because you're gonna have to acquire a taste for a warm box wine.
The box wine does taste way better cold. Like you gotta throw that shit in the fridge.
I mean, it's 37 degrees in my shop, but I think I kept it too warm today.
Is it a little funky?
This shit is. I'm not acquiring a taste, but I'm committed to drinking this whole box. This is my podcast box.
You know, Enrique and I used to drink boxes of wine every Wednesday together, and it was a hell of a drunk. We had a certain box, I forget which kind. It was a black box, some sort of black box, and we'd end up fucking ripping out the bag, just fucking filling it up. Like we'd hang it somewhere and fill it up, and we'd write music every Wednesday. We'd just sit there, and I'd get my guitar, we'd get fucking drunk and all sad, and we'd just write these depressing songs.
In cleaning my shop today,
yeah.
Anyway, in cleaning my shop today, you could do this. How random my life is. Like, as I'm cleaning my shop, I'm like, ooh, there's some antlers, some globes, fucking. There's a flag, a fucking sign, another coat of arms, fucking. You know, I'm like, all right, this is cool stuff. I'm just randomly placing it on the fucking wall as I go. But dude, I found like I found all the old music box and like lyrics and all that shit.
Oh
then,
shit,
dude, I was fucking pumped, dude. I found like a bunch of gold mines, but I found like, dude, the green hard pick that I've had, like,
it follows you around, oh.
Dude. It's like like I'm pretty positive it's the first pick I've ever had. Like, when I seen it, I was tripping, bro. I'm like, whoa, dog. Like,
the pick of destiny.
That's what I said. That's what I said, bro. I was like, this is fucking timing, dog. But, dude, it's just, I don't know. It's just cool. Getting the shot. Like, I'm getting this corner. Like, it's not going to, a lot of that shit's going to move. But I'm going to try to, It's just getting in a good spot, man. I'm getting a little more organized. Shop's going to be real nice. I'm going to have a little fitness corner, a little podcast deal. Like I said, make it to where, you know, I got a couple more mics set up. And,
there you go. I got to update you on our endeavor with trying to play a show at Garlic Brothers, or trying to play a song at Garlic Brothers. So I psych myself out on Thursday. I mean, I'm practicing guitar. I'm practicing a couple different songs, couple different song lists. I'm definitely going Dock at the Bay first, and then I'm going into this. I had it all lined out. And then I hit up Bobby, and I said, hey, what's up, man? We still good to go today? And fucking Erica took a shift, and he couldn't make it. I pumped myself up for nothing.
Oh, man.
That's the
it's
worst.
Still there, Dave.
Yeah,
it's still there. It's just one Thursday. It's on to the next, bro.
Yep. So hopefully this Thursday we can get it done.
Dude, I was dying laughing so much from our group text on Saturday, bro. Like, I just, dude, I was standing in my parents' kitchen, and then like I'm sitting on the couch getting up. My mom's like, "What?" I was like, "Mom, I cannot tell you." I go, "Look, it's a group text with me, Bobby, and Dave, and I cannot repeat what's going on." I was like, "I can't."
I was dying. I was just, that was probably the most entertaining thing that happened to me over the weekend.
That shit was hilarious.
Oh
dude.
my gosh. When you wrote that message where you were like one word at a time,
Oh yeah.
I was like dying. I was like, wait, what?
Oh shit. That's good, man.
You know, those are always good too because they're like so random, you know.
That's what was so fun about it. Like, and I was just laughing so much I couldn't stop. Like I couldn't stop. And like when Bobby says Jesus, Chad, like,
you can hear it, right?
Yeah. And when he has the conscience, I'm like, all right, dude, I fucking definitely fucking, you know, fucking got her done, bro. Like Bobby had to be the fucking angel.
Jesus, Chad. Yeah, that's how you know you fucked up. When Bobby's giving you advice on fucking how to be a better man.
When he's your fucking mentor. Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
Dude.
And it all started with pizza.
That was it. That's what I laughed. Like, I go, fuck. Like, we were talking about Devour Pizza sucks. And then next thing we know, just fucking, like, it was fucking wild, dog. The memory lane that I went through, dude. But that fucking dude, what I was talking about on that liquor, though, they fucking, whatever, dude, I wish I knew what it was. Dude, it was fucked up because, like I said, there was a group of them, and I kept, like, I'd hang out with this group, and then I'd leave, go talk to somebody. I'd come back, and somebody else had the bottle. And they're like, "Oh, here, just take one or two."
It wasn't no, like, absinthe or, whatever that shit is called.
It was some kind of crazy stuff like that, but they said it was like a island, like, liquor, like, it was an aphrodisiac. They were just like, "Dude, you're going to be fucking..." When they, like I said, they were all like, I was like, "Dude, I already took some of it." And he's like, "What?" "Oh, yeah, I took some of him too." And they're like, "Whoa, fuck." You're like, "Dude, you better fucking find a girl. Like, you're gonna fucking go crazy."
They just got in your head. They fucked you.
Dude,
they just got in your head.
I was like, I remember like coming back to the house. I'm like, like fucking.
The lion finds its prey.
Let's say here now. Oh yes, tasty that.
Dude, it was funny because I think I was there.
Yeah,
I had to have been. Been.
Dude, I think you were there.
I had
flashbacks. Stuart was there. Johnny was there. Everybody was there. And you called me out on it for a long time, and I denied it. And I said you were full of shit. I was like, that didn't fucking happen. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I was laying on your mama's couch in that sunflower room. I know exactly because I could see right up to your room. I could see right up those stairs. Oh, man. You definitely got a drink to that.
Yep. That's all I'm gonna say.
And by the way, that Devour Pizza, I've never tried it, but when you hopped on Red Band being the best frozen pizza out there, absolutely fucking agree.
Red Baron,
yeah.
Me and Victoria joke all the time, like, why did we order? But we could have had like 30 Red Barons for the cost of ordering Round Table, especially at Rosewood when we had double ovens.
Oh yeah,
we could have
just boom, in and out
at a time. Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, but dude, they're the best. That Devour though, like, dude, it was so funny. Me and Victoria bought it just because they were sponsored, looking for a fight.
Yeah.
Dana was like, "Oh, they're the best." Matt Sarah, like, "Oh my god, we bought it," and we were like, "This is fucking disgusting." So when Bobby said that, dude, I was dying laughing. I'm like, it's so true. And then, like I said, dude, when I was in New York, the New York pizza, like, We went on Yelp, bro. And they were like, this is one of the best pizzas you can get in New York. Hands, everybody's going crazy. There was like pepperonis like that big, and like it was just like grease and thin, and it was fucking disgusting, dude. And then in Boston, it was like, the best pizza. Like, I'm like, yo, where's a fucking round table at, dog? Or something with like some sauce and substance. I don't want a fucking flat, like fucking goddamn crepe with grease on it.
You know, your family is pizza connoisseurs. Your family knows everything about pizza. When we first got to Idaho, your mom ordered a pizza, and it was so late, dude. Like, your mom was just getting a pizza there for us, like being hella sweet. And your dad took a bite of it, and he's like, they quit putting sauce on this shit.
Yeah.
He was so mad. Like, I don't even think he ate anymore. Like, that's how pissed he was.
Pretty good. Dude, when I see the way he reacts to stuff, I laugh because I'm like, fuck, that's where I got it from. Like, Victoria looks at me like, because I'm like, God, I can't. You see the way he was? Like, you're not going to fucking eat anymore. And she looks at me like, oh, really? I'm like, all right. Man, whatever.
I have learned my lesson, though. I will probably never, ever have frozen pizza around you because I know what you do with the pepperonis and the cheese and the hot sauce.
Long time ago. I'd never do that to somebody now at our age.
Bro, you would.
That's only for a young body, dog. Not like, maybe, I don't know, March 7th. No, I wouldn't do it to you.
We should fill the bathtub with Devour Pizza for Bobby. So he's happy.
Oh, my God.
Fill his bed with it.
Fuck. Dude, we're about to have a good time, bro. What is it, 3 weeks away?
Dude, yeah, it's coming up quick. Almost 2.5 weeks. Actually, no, it is 3 weeks. I felt like it was Wednesday today.
I realize sometimes I get a little too pumped up because I was joking about, shit, the bachelor party's in 3 weeks with my mom. My dad's over on the couch and Victoria's sitting there. And she's like, oh, my God, and I was like, yeah, but I'm happy, because I'm just going to fly in Saturday morning. I'm not there the first night, so I'm not going to be burnt out. Everyone's going to have a great night, and I'm going to be – and then I just started getting myself pumped up. And I'm looking at my mom, and I'm like, I told him I'm coming in like a fucking hard dick on 4 Viagra's, man, just ready to fucking pound. Put me up with lidocaine. We're going to the fucking – and I started saying all that to my mother. And she's looking at me like, okay. I was like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, too much.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm just happy you're going to have a good time. And Victoria's looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What's bad is they probably don't even realize you said it live on the podcast. It's there for everybody.
Fuck, dude.
I scared my cousin. My cousin goes, hey, we are getting a little older now, so I just want to make sure when we're partying, we're being all cool and, like, making sure we're not, like, overly getting fucked up and drunk. And, we need to just be careful. We're older now. We're all older. And I look at him, I go, bro, I'm coming in hot. I go, you don't even know. On Friday, I'm going to be there going at 110. Like, be ready for it. And he's like, no, you can't be doing that. Dave, you got to chill out.
First of all, Mr. fucking, what is it?
J-Dub Moneymaker.
Moneymaker, motherfucker. You are the last person in this entire party that is going to tell somebody how to handle their alcohol. Mr. fucking champion of tolerance. Mr. fucking self-control when he's fucked up. The first person I've ever bounced out of a bar in my life.
He still claims he was roofied that night.
Dude, no. You guys come in hot. You guys were fucked up when you got there. I should have never let you in. And then fucking, dude, he took so many. I probably would have been doing the same thing if I took as many shots as he did, dude. You guys fucking went at it, bro. And he was just like fucking blah, blah, blah. Like, it was wild.
That's what he does. Watch. You'll see it. Yeah. You'll see it in a few weeks.
Like, how much have I started thinking back? Like, me and Jason haven't really partied that much together, though, huh?
He used to show up to like all the after fight parties.
Yeah, that was pretty much it, huh?
But we were always fucked up before that, and you know, like we'd start drinking right after the fights, and he would always leave early for something stupid, you know. Oh, I got to go back to Sacramento and do this, you know, and miss out on one of the best parties of all time.
Yeah, it's like you got to go back to Sacramento. You better go now.
Yeah.
But,
oh man, yeah. So for everybody out there, thank you for downloading Center in the Saint on YouTube. We appreciate every download. We are definitely putting some more videos out there, getting everyone engaged in our content, as well as our new Instagram page is out, finally out on the market. Center in the Saint on Instagram. Boom.
Yeah, the Instagram handle's Center Saint 209. So.
Same on Facebook.
And then if anybody randomly, if you want to email us or whatever, centersaint209@gmail.com. That's a Gmail. If you ever got subject matter, put it on the Facebook, email, fucking hit us up on the DM and social media, anything like that.
Yeah. You know? No, nothing's off limits for us, really.
Yeah, you can fucking tell.
I'm glad I figured out my Wi-Fi situation with your guidance, Chad. I appreciate that.
Dude, well, that's the crazy thing is, in my house, I don't use the Wi-Fi. It's just for the TV because it just fucks. My phone is way better than the Wi-Fi.
That's crazy. I didn't think that was a real thing.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was a real thing. But for everyone, check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. We're going to wrap this thing up. Center in the Saint 209. Give us a shout out, Chad. Give us some love.
That's what I'm talking about. Center Saint 209, baby. Episode 44, 3 years in. We're going to be averaging a lot more than one a fucking month this year, okay? We're off and running every week. Dave's keeping up with content. We do have guest lines up. We're coming in hot, heavy, ready to go. And trust me, when you get a fucking episode after March 7th, there's probably going to be a lot more fucking incriminating stories to be told. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It's all allegorical.
Not only that, I can't even do a podcast without eating Monroy's original hot sauce before and afterwards, because I put it on fucking everything, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on my pizza, put it on my donuts, put it on my bagels, put it on everything. So go check it out.
Don't put it on your girl's coochie because it burns her.
Oops. but go check it out. Monroy'sOriginalHotSauce.com. Go buy his stuff. It's great quality hot sauce that you will enjoy. I 100% guarantee it. Also, check out Retro Grappler. They got some new designs, some new rash guards coming out, new t-shirts. So check them out. Give them a like on Instagram and Facebook. That is it on my part. This is Center in the Saint, episode 44. Chad, we're out.
We're out. Boom.